Well, good morning.
Good morning, Kaisha.
Well, today we're going to talk with Angela Bruce, and she is our career spotlight. I'm very excited to have her join us this month. She's going to tell us more about herself. She's in the insurance industry, and she's the owner of an insurance agency. So I'm excited to be able to share more about her background with us and to get a little more insight around the world of insurance and what options are available. So, Angela, share with us a little bit about what you currently do. And I have a few questions to ask you also.
Thank you, Kaisha. Yes, so I've been working in the insurance industry for 15 years now, and the career actually chose me. I didn't realize it at the time, but I am really specifically gifted for this type of job. It involves a lot of detail, a lot of self marketing. So that's how I met you, Kaisha, is through a networking group. And it involves a lot of talking, listening, and having coffee with folks. And so those are things that I've always enjoyed, but I didn't know that that's what the insurance business was going to be like. And so when I first was exposed to it, I was young, I was in middle school, and my mother started our agency when I was 13 years old, and I told her I would never sit behind a desk and at a computer all day. That was not what I was going to do. And just by chance, I worked in her office for just part-time, and I realized that there was so much more to it than I thought. And I started to really enjoy the processes. And yeah, and from there, I just continued on, and now I own the business, and I love working. I love what I do. I love our clients.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think one thing that strikes me is what you just said. It was a career that you thought you would not do as a child, though you were exposed to it at a very early age with your mother owning the business and insurance, and you love it. So tell us a little bit about what advice would you give to others that might be considering pursuing a path in insurance?
Some things that I maybe could have done that I would suggest to someone thinking about insurance would be to take some classes in the business field, maybe even at a junior college or community college. Those are really important when you're learning how to manage your data, because there's a lot of details in running a business. And really, to me, it seems like life is a business. And so if you have a few business classes, it's going to help you in every area of your life, in any field you begin in. And I just wish that I had learned how to do maybe an Excel spreadsheet or some Word documents. Or, I mean, when I was coming up, I said, no, I don't need a keyboarding class. I will never use a keyboard. Well, I use a keyboard all the time, every day. I wish I had listened better to the career counselors, because they told me what I was good at, and I didn't want to listen to them.
Interesting.
But it's true. They were right.
Interesting. So tell us, it sounds like you have not always been in insurance. So tell us a little bit, what other career paths did you take before coming over into insurance?
Well, after college, I worked with a dentist because I thought I was going to go to dental school, and I thought I was going to be in some sort of a health field. Well, that I enjoyed that, but it was very intense work, and I decided against it. It wasn't going to work for me for the rest of my life. I knew I didn't want to work that intensely for that many hours daily for the rest of my life. It wasn't going to work. And then I was at home with my children, and that's when I started working part-time. And so I find being in a small agency, it's great for flexibility. So I have a lot of, I could come in late, leave early, make up my time on Saturdays. I could pick up my children when they called me and they were sick. There was just a lot of flexibility being in a small agency. And now that I own the agency, I can bring my dog to work. And I don't have to leave her by herself.
She's very happy to come to work with you. I saw her.
She is a great
recently.
mascot.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you, but the insurance field is huge. So there are jobs up in the state and national level as well in the government. And that's going to be different. That's more like a corporate job. But once you have that property and casualty insurance license, which you don't have to have a college degree to get that license. You can study on your own and get that license, and any insurance agency would be happy to train you, because that license is it's like having gold in your pocket. Yes.
That's awesome.
It is. It's amazing. Agents are always looking for help, and I know that's how my agency is, and the other agents I talk to, that's how they all are. They all are looking for someone who's got their license.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And I think that's good to hear too, for someone interested. What you just said, it's like gold in your pocket. You would be a very, I want to say, an attractive candidate for that type of career. Once you have your license, it should be very much easier and a faster turnaround time to find a job in that career path with your license. And that's encouraging. That's really great to hear.
Yeah. And, I think that, so in insurance, the industry is changing so quickly. There's every day we have to learn something new. We have new training every week. We are constantly learning how to navigate other websites. We're in meetings a lot with the carriers, reviewing their new products. Just a lot of learning. So I would say that your brain has to be able to go with the flow, pick up new knowledge. And we don't necessarily need to retain and memorize everything, but we need to know where to go to get the information. So if a client asks a question, we're probably not going to know every answer, but we're going to know where to find the answer. And that's just an important thing, is to be able to find the information so that we can transmit the correct information to our clients. It's a lot of details.
That's great.
A lot of details.
That's great. And that's exciting.
It is.
And it sounds like, if a person is a person that likes to learn new information, new facts, this could be a nice career path to consider as well. So what other maybe advice what other advice would you give someone that's, considering insurance or wants to find out more about this career path? What would you suggest they do first?
I would suggest meeting with different professionals who are in insurance. So there's some people who do mostly sales, and there's some people who do mostly service. And then there's some people who manage offices, or there's some people who do just certain kinds of insurance. Like there are some people that just do insurance for landscape companies, and there's a lot of different routes to take.
That's great.
Yeah. So depending on your style and what you want, I mean, there are some people just sit at a desk and answer the phone and do service. That's what they do. They're good at it. They love to help people solve problems, and we are definitely problem solvers. And there's a lot of satisfaction in that. In fact, some days when I am not feeling great about going out in the public, I love to just answer the phone and help the clients just with whatever problem they're calling with. And it feels good to help people in that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's exciting to hear that there's so many paths, what you just mentioned, so you really can decide which which lane or type of insurance job or career would be a best fit for that person, and talk to people that are in the field, is what you mentioned.
Let me just mention this. The beginning of the insurance is the license. So you get either property and casualty license, and you can get the life and health insurance license. And then from there, you can build credentials. And again, none of these require a college degree, but as you start to build credentials, you are creating your degree. There's the CRIS, the CIC, there's the life underwriting credentials. So these credentials are all offered through different organizations. The main one in Virginia is the PIA and the IIAVA. Those are both insurance organizations that support agents and agencies and offer all of these continuing education classes. But so you are building yourself. You build your own insurance degree, really. Now, if you're in college, you can take classes in risk management and classes that are designed for insurance, really for the corporate world.
Right.
And so if you want to go into the corporate world, then yes, you do want to have a degree like risk management. But you don't have to have that to be in the field, which is awesome. It was it's really open. It's open to anyone who's willing to work.
That's great. That's great. And that's what I was hearing. It's an open field. You have different ways to enter it. You can enter it the route to go corporate. You can enter it the route to do more self-ownership and build as you go. So that's very exciting to hear how open it is and a lot of different options.
And there are agencies in the past couple of years that have been built out of people's guest bedrooms.
Wow.
I know that there are some franchises that you can buy into that are insurance franchises that they just give you your credentials, your log on information, right? Your username and password, and they say here are the carriers that you can use, and you can just work from home and build your own business from your home.
That's excellent. So definitely, here on Growing Perspectives, I like to be able to share different options and different career paths to provide more insight and awareness to others. So those were all the questions that I had today. So I want to leave it to you to just see, do you have any other item that you like to share with us that we didn't cover that you think it's good for us to know?
One thing that's good to know is that, and this is probably true for some other industries as well, is that right now we are experiencing a shortage of trained licensed insurance professionals. Many of the professionals from the 80s, like my mother, and 90s are retiring, and they get to retire well, which is good to know.
Right.
But they're retiring, and there just aren't a lot of people stepping up and taking their place. And so what we're seeing is a lot of business is being diverted to the online internet business, where you don't really have an agent. You just go online and kind of work with whoever answers the phone at the company, which that works for some people, but the majority of homeowners and parents and folks that their life is changing, their things are changing in their life, they have questions, and they really do like to have an agent to talk to, someone who can understand their situation and give them recommendations based on their specific needs.
Got it.
And but yeah, we have a shortage of folks entering the insurance field as agents.
This is good. So I want to thank you for sharing that with us, so we are more aware of that. The shortage in the industry. Some of the high points that I heard is that there's definitely variety in the types of jobs in this industry, different ways you can prepare, college route, non-college route, for certification. So it's pretty much wide open. That's what I'm hearing.
And flexible.
And flexible. Thank you. Very flexible. So I would love to stay connected with you in the new year. I would love for you to come back and share with us the latest in the insurance industry. And thank you again for your time with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. As you can tell, I have a lot to say about insurance. I love it. It's part of my family, and it's part of my it's just part of my makeup now. And it feels good to help people with insurance. It helps they sleep better and I sleep better.
That's right.